The Authenticity Revolution, Unleashing Your True Self in a World of Masks. Welcome to the BlackCEO Podcast. Today, we're embarking on a transformative journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew about success, happiness, and personal growth. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Charlotte Hamilton, a visionary leader whose insights are reshaping our understanding of authenticity and self-acceptance. Charlotte's impact on making the world a better place is nothing short of revolutionary, and I'm thrilled to share the profound wisdom I gleaned from our conversation. Imagine for a moment a world where everyone felt free to be their true selves, a world where we celebrated our differences instead of hiding them, where our unique perspectives were valued rather than silenced. Sounds utopian, doesn't it? But what if I told you that this world isn't just a fantasy? What if I told you that the key to creating this reality lies within each and every one of us? This is the powerful message at the heart of Charlotte Hamilton's philosophy. Her words struck a chord so deep within me that I knew I had to share them with you. Today, we're going to explore a concept that's both simple and radical. The idea that the version of yourself you've been hiding from the world might be exactly what the world needs. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if people don't like the real me? It's a valid concern, and one that's kept many of us wearing masks for far too long. We've become so accustomed to molding ourselves to fit others' expectations that we've lost sight of who we truly are. We laugh at jokes we don't find funny. We nod enthusiastically at topics we couldn't care less about. And we find ourselves agreeing with opinions that go against everything we believe in. Sound familiar? Let's be honest, we've all been there. That uncomfortable feeling of being an imposter in our own skin. It's exhausting, isn't it? Always second-guessing yourself, always wondering if you're saying the right thing, always afraid of being found out for who you really are. But here's the kicker. What if all that energy you're expending trying to be someone else is actually holding you back from being the amazing, unique individual you truly are? Charlotte's wisdom challenges us to flip this narrative on its head. She argues that authenticity isn't just about being true to yourself. It's about giving the world the gift of your genuine self. It's about recognizing that your quirks, your passions, your unconventional ideas are not flaws to be hidden, but assets to be celebrated. Let me share a story that illustrates this point beautifully. During our interview, Charlotte told me about Sarah, a brilliant software engineer who had always felt out of place in her field. Sarah was passionate about coding, but she also had a deep love for art and poetry interests she felt she had to hide to be taken seriously in the tech world. For years, Sarah compartmentalized her life, keeping her work self separate from her real self. She wore suits she hated, suppressed her creative ideas, and tried to fit into the stereotypical mold of a serious engineer. And you know what? She was miserable. Her work suffered, her relationships were strained, and she felt like she was living a lie. But then something changed. Inspired by a talk on authenticity, not unlike the one you're listening to now, Sarah decided to take a leap of faith. She started incorporating her artistic skills into her work, using visual metaphors to explain complex coding concepts. She decorated her cubicle with her own artwork and started a lunchtime poetry club for her coworkers. The result? Not only did Sarah feel more fulfilled and energized, but her work improved dramatically. Her unique approach to problem solving led to innovative solutions that her more conventionally minded colleagues hadn't considered. Her poetry club became a hit, improving team morale and fostering creativity across the department. And perhaps most surprisingly, Sarah's authenticity inspired others to embrace their own quirks and passions. This story illustrates a crucial point. When we embrace our authentic selves, we not only improve our own lives, but we create a ripple effect that can transform our entire environment. We give others permission to be themselves, fostering a culture of creativity, innovation, and genuine connection. But let's be real for a moment. Being authentic isn't always easy. It can be downright terrifying. It requires vulnerability, and vulnerability can feel like standing naked in a crowded room. It's exposing yourself to potential criticism, rejection, and judgment. So why on earth would we willingly put ourselves in that position? Because, as Charlotte so eloquently puts it, the rewards far outweigh the risk. When you're authentic, you open yourself up to genuine connections, meaningful experiences, and opportunities that align with who you truly are. You give yourself the chance to succeed on your own terms, not someone else's. Consider the story of Marcus, a high-powered executive who seemed to have it all: the corner office, the six-figure salary, the respect of his peers. But behind closed doors, Marcus was struggling. He climbed the corporate ladder by being what he thought others wanted him to be: ruthless, unemotional, always putting work first. He'd sacrifice his personal relationships, his health, and his passions in pursuit of success. One day, after a particularly grueling week, Marcus found himself sitting alone in his expensive apartment, surrounded by all the trappings of success, yet feeling utterly empty. In that moment of clarity, he realized that he'd achieved everything he thought he wanted, but none of it brought him joy. Inspired by the concept of authenticity, Marcus decided to make a change. He started small, allowing himself to show more emotion at work, to admit when he didn't have all the answers, to prioritize his family over late nights at the office. To his surprise, his team didn't lose respect for him. They connected with him more deeply. His vulnerability fostered a culture of trust and open communication that led to increased productivity and innovation. Marcus also rediscovered his passion for mentoring young professionals, something he had always enjoyed but had pushed aside in his climb to the top. He started a mentorship program at his company, which not only helped nurture new talent, but also reignited his own passion for his work. The transformation wasn't easy or immediate. Marcus faced resistance, both from others who were used to his old persona and from his own ingrained habits. But with each authentic choice, he felt more aligned with his true self, and the results spoke for themselves. Not only was Marcus happier and healthier, but his team's performance improved, and the company culture shifted towards one of authenticity and mutual respect. These stories highlight a powerful truth. Authenticity isn't just a personal choice, it's a leadership strategy. When we have the courage to be ourselves, we inspire others to do the same. We create environments where creativity flourishes, where diverse perspectives are valued, and where people feel empowered to bring their whole selves to work. But authenticity isn't just about what we show to the world, it's also about how we view ourselves. This brings us to another crucial insight from my conversation with Charlotte: the importance of self-forgiveness and acceptance. Often we're our own harshest critics. We beat ourselves up for our mistakes, our perceived shortcomings, our failures. We hold on to these things like heavy weights, letting them drag us down and hold us back. But what if we could learn to forgive ourselves? What if we could accept our past mistakes as valuable lessons rather than shameful secrets? What if we could look at our flaws not as weaknesses to be hidden, but as unique characteristics that make us who we are? This shift in perspective is transformative. It's about recognizing that you are worthy of love, respect, and success exactly as you are. It's about understanding that your worth isn't determined by how well you fit into someone else's expectations, but by how true you are to yourself. Let me share one more story that illustrates this point. Charlotte told me about Alex, a young entrepreneur who had experienced a very public failure with his first startup. The company had gone bankrupt, leaving investors angry and Alex's reputation in tatters. For months, Alex wallowed in shame and self-recrimination, replaying every mistake in his mind and convinced that he was a failure. But then Alex encountered the concept of self-forgiveness. He realized that by clinging to his shame, he was preventing himself from learning and growing from the experience. Slowly, painfully, Alex began to forgive himself. He started to view his failure not as a definitive judgment on his worth, but as a valuable, if costly, learning experience. As Alex learned to accept himself, flaws, and all, something remarkable happened. He found the courage to start again. But this time, instead of trying to be the infallible, all-knowing founder, Alex embraced his humanity. He was open about his past failure, sharing the lessons he'd learned with his new team. He created a culture where mistakes were seen as opportunities for growth, not reasons for shame. The result? Alex's new company thrived. His authenticity and vulnerability fostered a team culture of innovation and resilience. Investors, far from being put off by his past failure, were impressed by his growth and self-awareness. Alex's journey from shame to self-acceptance not only transformed his own life, but created a business that positively impacted countless others. This story underscores a crucial point. Self-acceptance isn't just about feeling good about yourself. It's about freeing yourself to reach your full potential. When we stop wasting energy on self-criticism and start channeling that energy into growth and creativity, we unlock possibilities we never imagined. Now, I want to challenge you to think about your own life. What parts of yourself have you been hiding from the world? What unique perspectives, ideas, or talents have you been downplaying because you're afraid they won't be accepted? What if those very things are what the world needs right now? Imagine for a moment what your life would look like if you embraced every part of yourself, if you stopped trying to fit in and started standing out, if you stopped apologizing for who you are and started celebrating it instead. How would your relationships change? How would your career evolve? How would you feel when you look in the mirror each morning? This isn't about becoming a different person. It's about becoming more of who you already are. It's about peeling away the layers of pretense and expectation to reveal your true self. It's about having the courage to say, this is me, take it or leave it. Now, I know this isn't an easy journey. It's not like flipping a switch and suddenly you're living your most authentic life. It's a process. And like any process, it takes time, effort, and patience. There will be setbacks. There will be moments of doubt. There will be times when it feels easier to slip back into old patterns of people pleasing and conformity. But here's the thing, every step you take towards authenticity is a step towards a more fulfilling, more meaningful life. Every time you choose to be true to yourself, you're building a stronger foundation for your future. You're creating a life that's aligned with your values, your passions, and your true self. So, how do we start this journey towards authenticity? Charlotte offers some practical advice that I want to share with you. First, start by getting to know yourself. Really know yourself. What are your values? What are your passions? What makes you angry? What brings you joy? What are your non negotiables in life? Understanding these core aspects of your personality is the first step towards living authentically. Second, practice self acceptance. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I accept myself, flaws and all. It might feel awkward at first, even a bit silly, but keep doing it. The more you practice self acceptance, the more natural it becomes. Third, start small. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start by being authentic in small ways. Maybe it's expressing an opinion you usually keep to yourself. Maybe it's wearing that outfit you love but have been too afraid to wear in public. Maybe it's pursuing a hobby you've always been interested in but thought was too weird or unconventional. Fourth, surround yourself with people who appreciate the real you. As you become more authentic, you might find that some relationships fall away. That's okay. It's making room for new relationships that are based on genuine connection and mutual appreciation. Fifth, and perhaps most importantly, be patient with yourself. Living authentically is a lifelong journey. There will be ups and downs, steps forward, and steps back. That's normal. Be kind to yourself through the process. As we near the end of our time together, I want to circle back to something I mentioned earlier, the idea of creating a world where everyone feels free to be their authentic selves. This isn't just a nice idea, it's a vision for a better world, a world where we celebrate our differences instead of trying to erase them, where we value uniqueness over conformity, where we understand that our individual authenticity is our greatest strength. Imagine the innovations we might see in such a world. Imagine the connections we might form. Imagine the positive change we might create. This is the world that Charlotte Hamilton envisions, and it's a vision that I wholeheartedly share. But here's the thing, this world doesn't just happen, we create it, one authentic choice at a time. Every time we choose to be true to ourselves, we're laying a brick in the foundation of this better world. Every time we accept someone else's authenticity, we're creating a space where others can do the same. So I want to leave you with a challenge. For the next week, I want you to make a conscious effort to be more authentic in your daily life. It could be something as simple as expressing an honest opinion when asked or pursuing a passion you've been putting off. Pay attention to how it feels. Notice the reactions of those around you. Observe how it impacts your relationships, your work, your overall sense of well being. Remember, this isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. It's about having the courage to show up as your true self, even when it's scary. It's about trusting that your authentic self is not just good enough, it's exactly what the world needs. Are you ready to embrace your authentic self? Are you ready to stop hiding and start shining? Are you ready to give the world the gift of the real you? The journey towards authenticity isn't always easy, but I promise you it's worth it. It's a journey towards freedom, towards fulfillment, towards a life lived on your own terms. And it starts with a single step, the decision to be unapologetically, authentically you. As we conclude this talk, I want you to imagine a world where authenticity is the norm, not the exception. A world where our differences are celebrated, where our unique perspectives are valued, where our quirks are seen as strengths rather than weaknesses. This world is within our reach, but it requires each of us to have the courage to be ourselves. So, I challenge you, step into your authenticity, embrace your true self, be the catalyst for change in your own life and in the lives of those around you. Remember, in the words of Oscar Wilde, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. The world is waiting for the real you. It's time to answer the call. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery and authenticity. Now go forth, be yourself, and change the world, one authentic action at a time. The revolution starts with you.